Yeah, but that's cute. But what she's referring to is this girl was like kind of like pussy, naive, like grow up.
But I don't think she
maybe
was
get
like
laid.
that.
That's what she needs.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I didn't think she was like that.
I could feel this is going to be fun.
This is the Cats and Pudding Podcast. A melting pot of pudding. And now, here's Jen.
Cats and Pudding, everybody. Welcome to our episode.
Cats and Pudding.
Bitch, get it right.
It's Cats, Pudding, and Kitty.
And Jeff.
And Jeffrey. and Jeffrey. And Jeffrey. Cats, Pudding, and Jeffrey.
And the ends,
and
Jeff.
Jen's nipples.
Jeff, it's Cats and Pudding and Kitty and Jeff. We're the ends.
Mm-hmm.
Ends.
Yes.
Ends.
Yeah. This is probably the last. This will get us canceled. Just kidding.
So honestly, and the headlights are on?
The headlights are on. We're here.
Totally on.
Wow.
Kitty,
Why were you hiding those today?
Are your headlights on or no? I guess you're wearing a bra.
The boobs do look good in that.
They do?
Yeah,
you
they
can't
do.
really see it.
They're looking nice.
Wait, someone asked me this the other day. What is your favorite part about your body?
My favorite part about my body?
Like, what do you like look at and you're like, damn, like I look really good. Like I'm really proud of like this
I don't know.
feature.
I don't look at myself that much anymore that way. I'm like, everything feels like it's falling apart.
Really?
Probably I would.
I feel like your boobs are good. Like I've
We
seen
need
your
a
boobs
body
more
mechanic.
times than I've
Is there
cared to
anybody out
see.
there?
And your boobs are still up. Like you don't have saggy tits.
Yeah, but they're starting to fumble.
Well, that depends what they look like without the bra.
Facts.
Me too.
This is without anything.
You don't have a bra on?
No. That's
Come
why I
on.
have headlights on.
Then you know what? When you pass the mirror, girl, you got to be like, I'm looking good. That's my body part, bitches.
I would probably say my ass is my
Your
favorite
ass.
part.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Love.
Yeah, I would say I think it's still a pretty good butt.
It is a good butt.
Yeah, it's a good butt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not bad. I
It's
don't feel
thick,
like I have
thick.
pancake ass. That's it. Yeah.
It was sculpted to perfection.
Yeah, it was. It was sculpted.
I would love to say
sculpted.
Jen did so much squats and work on it, but
Yeah,
it was
but I'm gonna
it was
have
a
to start
gift.
doing
She
squats.
took the shortcut
I did.
She did
to
take
the
a
good
shortcut.
ass.
I did. I totally did. But I did.
But the longest plane ride of her life, I hear about it all the time, at least once a month, about her horrible experience
Well, it
with.
wasn't a plane ride. It was a cab ride.
I heard from Gina that you had to sit somewhere like this
did.
No.
because you couldn't
No.
sit your ass down on
No.
anything. That's
I did. I couldn't sit, and the cab driver thought I was crazy. Here I am. He's like, "Where are you going, miss?" I'm like,
They probably thought you were giving someone a blowjob in the back seat, but nope,
Oh
just got my ass injected.
No.
Yeah.
Could I ask you a question after you get, is it a butt lift or implant?
No,
or-
it was sculpted. I did lipo.
It's a fat transfer.
Yeah, it's a fat transfer. It's
So
a BBL.
you can't sit on your ass?
Not for a while. You can't. First of all, it hurts to sit on it. It's uncomfortable. And then
For how long?
it was uncomfortable for the worst discomfort was probably 2 weeks, but it took me about 6 months before I could sit on it because it still bothered me when I sat.
I want to ask a dumb question maybe.
Was it worth it?
No. When
Why'd I
you get
do
your
it?
fat taken out of your stomach and you put it in your ass, so now you got fat that wasn't there. How does it adhere? And if you sit on it, could it squish and move around?
You know, that's what I was concerned about.
Does
but
that sound stupid?
No,
Like,
it
does it
doesn't.
move?
No.
Like, in other words, if I took the fat out of my belly and put it in my ass and I go sit down, it's not adhered. It didn't attach itself yet.
They put it in
That's
they
a
put
good
it in a
point.
pocket and so something. That's how
Oh.
it's explained to me. But that's why you really can't sit on it for a couple of weeks because you don't want to move it. So then I guess it takes time to adhere but then it's still uncomfortable because remember when you get lipo, they're like, shh. That hurts.
Wait, weird question for you. Do you ever regret any of the things you've gotten done? Like maybe like your boob job or like getting your butt done? Like would you take anything back of like any of the work you've gotten
I
done?
mean, I did my butt and I did a tummy tuck and my boobs. I mean, I know I did down here too, but I didn't do major. I mean, I know people have done it like 4 and 5 times, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
I would probably not say I would never do my butt again, ever. Never. Would I do my boobs again and lift them? in a couple of years, if they started to sag, I would.
That seems normal though. Don't
I
you
would.
get your boobs done every like 10 years or something?
They say you should.
Yeah.
No,
but
you change the implants.
implant 20 years. Yeah, 10 to 20 years. But they took my implants out and they tested them when I did because what happened was when I lost so much weight when I got them the second time because I had to get them lifted that I was like. It was like I was like a G. It was ridiculous what I was, and it was like and I had I wanted to get my nipples done, so so when they took them out and they lifted them just to lift, they were fine, and they were like if your body did not reject them, put them back in.
Yeah.
So they tested them, they were fine. They were like they felt like the way they did when they first put them in. So plastic surgeon put them back in. So, because that's where a lot of things happen is if your
body rejects
can reject
them.
it,
Yeah.
but if it didn't do anything, if they're fine, they use my implants again. And that was, I think it was 10 years later. No, 8 years later.
Dang.
It did that. But they're still in. But I'm going to probably have to do it.
Are you single?
I don't know what I am right now.
Are you single?
Yes. Very single.
And you want to mingle?
I always try. I just fail. I think that's my biggest flaw is I don't know how to date.
Why?
I could tell you the worst dating stories. I've been on dates and they were like 10 minutes into the date, a guy asked me if I was autistic. I've been on dates that I just like, I'm trying all these new things to try to work on my dating experience. Yeah.
Do you think that you're at fault? Could you go like, I see why he thinks that.
I think to certain people, I get viewed as like a cartoon character sometimes between like my
Why a
eating
cartoon
habits.
character?
The way I present myself on social media. I think there's just a lot of different things that you could see of me that it is ish of me, you know what I mean? But it's not like every single part of me. You know what I mean? Like, me, like if you ask me to go to dinner, like Jeff's a little picky. Like I probably shouldn't take him to Indian. Some new person who's asking me out on a date or whatever.
I can only take you to a place that has chicken fingers and fries.
It could be a turnoff when they're trying to get to know you and they're like, oh, I'm not signing up for this because there's a food restriction or, oh, he posts this on the internet or, oh, he has an OnlyFans. There's like little things that people don't like.
But don't you feel though, I feel personally, your little kinks, your little, whatever you want to call
Quirks.
them, somebody will call it an ick.
Yeah.
I may say if I was really into you, if I was a guy and I was into you, I would be like, I love all his little
idiosyncrasies.
All his little idiosyncrasies. Yeah. I think that's what you need to find. Like, you need to find somebody who's going to love all those things about you and enhance you.
That's the goal.
Well, I think you said it the best. It's how they define them. You could define them as ew, icky, or an idiosyncrasy.
Yeah.
Or like a quirk, or like.
Yeah.
Well, I also think,
Just your personality.
like you value certain things, right? So I can meet a guy and we think each other so attractive, but he might be like a huge foodie. And so being a foodie is a huge part of his life. Where like for me, that's not. So we might not be a good match because when we travel, he might want to go to like all these restaurants and try all these different foods and like pick at my plate. And for me, I don't want you to touch my plate. I don't want to order apps for the table. Like we've been to dinner, I like my plate. I like my shit. You have your drink, you have your plate, and we're good.
But I thought you were perfect at dinner. It didn't even. So what? You did your thing. We did our thing.
That's
Exactly.
We're not
Yeah.
going to do our thing together.
Right.
But I'm saying like some people, that's a big thing. Like
What do you mean, like sharing food with you?
just food in general,
Oh, you
right?
mean like
there's
what they're
some
ordering.
people love food and they want to go do all these things like hibachi, Indian food, a Middle Eastern restaurant, whatever it is, right? Like
They want to go to more.
they
eclectic
probably would rather
restaurants.
date someone who is more into that type of stuff
Gotcha.
because that's what they're
Right.
into.
Yeah.
Are you on dating apps?
All of them, girl. Are you on dating apps?
I'm on.
We want to know about you.
I'm on.
Wait, let's direct this to Kathrine.
Yeah, like,
We
what
wanna
dating
know
apps are you
what's
on?
Going on with, what's going
I'm
on
single.
with you? We know you're single, but when was the last real date you've been on?
I want to say 2 months ago.
2 months ago. And how'd that go?
It went okay.
Were they an actor?
No.
Would you do it again?
I was kind of bored.
Oh, so got it.
I was filing my nails the whole time. No, I'm joking. I was bored. I think I
Yeah.
need another artist, not just an actor. Like I need somebody who's like what you're saying. I need somebody who's quirky, is artistic, who's autistic a little bit, maybe. No, who's
If only I was straight.
we would be the perfect couple. No, I would compromise your food shit.
Yeah.
No, but like I need somebody who's very just somebody artsy. They could be a painter, a musician, something like that, you know. I don't know, even somebody who builds houses that has an artistic eye in decorating or building. I don't know, something creative.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to find at a certain age.
Yes, that is true. That is very
You
true.
know, you don't have the glass color rose. You don't
Rose-colored
rose-colored
glasses.
Glasses. As you get older, you see
No.
people exactly
Yeah.
for what they are.
But do you notice, like you two, obviously being close in age, do you notice a lot of your friends settling in relationships because they don't want to be alone? Do you ever feel like that?
I feel like I know a few people who have
Yeah.
done that.
I do. I think so. I think that a lot of people are still together that I know that probably should have been divorced a long time ago that
Yeah.
are still together just because what else are they going to do?
Yeah.
And I think it's just like, I don't know. I see it like eating away at them every day. Like I feel like they just become more like complacent and they're just like, I don't know. They don't like to go out anymore. They don't like to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad life.
It is sad. Like, you know, like, see how, like, me and you like to do things? We'll
Yeah.
spur of the moment, we'll want to do something. We'll like, let's go do something. I feel like that these women that I used to be like that, they're just like, it's just dragging them down. And I don't know if that's, like, I feel like Gene is getting that way. I'm sorry I'm talking about you. But I love
But you know
it.
what it is I think as you grow up, it's so hard to like grow with a person.
And not that I think you and Danny have to get divorced. I just think that you're becoming complacent.
You actually threw somebody under the bus just
I
She did name drop. Yeah.
Yeah,
she
I
just
name dropped. I
Holy
didn't mean to.
shit.
But I didn't say a last name. It's
But
okay.
we know who you're talking
You can
about.
bleep her out. Bleep that name out so they don't know.
But
go,
Yeah, bleep it out. Bleep it out.
But no,
did.
I think that there's a lot of people who, when you start dating, you become that other person. If that makes sense. Like, do you ever see couples, then they start looking like siblings?
Yeah.
Like, you start dressing the same a little
Yeah,
bit. Or
yeah.
all of a sudden, like, the girl all of a sudden loves the Philadelphia Eagles. And you're like, bitch, you never watched football in your life. You're
Oh,
just
yeah.
going. 'cause you're-
Yes.
You know what I mean?
was
Like, that
never
type
like
of shit.
that. I
It's
was
like,
never like that.
going back to what you're saying. I think the pro of dating a equal creative is like, you have your shit. You have your
Yes.
friends. You have your career. You have exactly
Yes.
what you're doing.
Love.
He has
Yes.
his shit. He has his
Yes.
hobbies. That's what I think the ultimate goal is I'm not looking into like a clone of me. I'm
That's
looking
right.
for someone who enjoys their own shit.
That's right.
I enjoy my shit. We have some similar
Could teach
interests.
you new stuff.
Yeah, would be great.
Yeah. But I feel like women, and I don't know, but it's different for people in our age group, especially women, because I think either men are intimidated by successful women, or they want to use us for something.
Oh wow.
I would say that's an
Oh, shit,
interesting.
You just dropped the bomb.
Yeah.
Well, that's the truth. Don't
Whoa, you
feel
just
that way?
dropped the truth bomb.
I
Do we
don't
have
know
a
older
special
men like that
sound
to
effect
be able
for
to.
that?
We have-
Yeah.
Shh. Look, we need a sound effect. We'll go like Wonder Twin
Girl
powers.
power.
Activate.
Yeah. But would you say is being gay, a gay man, and dating with your quirks, is that kind of like not the norm and like that? Is that why it's a little harder for you? Because I think
No, I think it's because they
honestly-
always think with their dick. That's the big issue. So no one's.
It's all testosterone
Yeah.
based.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
But there are some guys that just want good guys out there that are not like that. But of course, they're gonna have, the urges and want to have
Yeah.
sex, guys. But there's some good guys out there too that want a real relationship.
But I always think like, I mean, were you ever married?
yes,
So I feel like down the line, after you've been faithful for X amount of time, I could see one-off situations being acceptable. I would never want an open relationship, but like if a person I was with was, on a bachelor party, living his life in Mykonos, and he met some random guy and they hooked up, I'd be like, you're on vacation.
You mean
go
but
have fun.
forgiving it? So would you?
Just like
would
I
you be
wouldn't
able-
want to know.
But
Like
what
go.
happens if you found out? Because it always comes out.
Well, I think that would be fine as long as you didn't bring it home. You know what I mean? Like, go have an experience and like have fun, but
But
I
then
don't
that's
want to
a-
You
bring it
ever
home.
been madly in love, deeply madly?
Once, and I went psychopathic.
Okay, so if I think you're saying this now because
Maybe.
you're not madly in love.
Because you're not madly
If
in
you
love.
got
I have
married-
numerous friends that this works for, though.
Okay, but then they're not madly in love then.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
That
Which
means
you,
they're doing one-offs every other
Yes,
day.
because it doesn't only happen once. Once it happens,
Yeah.
it's
Like a
once it
12
cheat-
off.
Right? It's a 1,000 off, a 1,200 million.
Yeah, there's no
off.
one-off, and
No.
you can control yourself. Like I did one.
but there's
that's
like
it.
swinger couples. Like, you don't think that works?
No.
If it wait, listen. If it works for both, it works. But is that what you want? Or
I don't want to be a swinger couple, but I'm saying like
But let
I
me
think
tell
as
you,
you
once
get
it
older,
starts, it doesn't stop because then once you do it once with them, they're gonna want to do it all the time.
but I
It's
think that
never
keeps
just
a
one
relationship
time.
interesting. Like, not to be shady,
I
but
think-
you're divorced and you're divorced. Like, why did those relationships end? Because things didn't progress or get interesting. Or
Because
whatever,
my
you know?
ex-husband was an asshole and went to jail and robbed everybody, including me.
Oh
and,
shit!
yeah.
Number 2 under the bus.
There you go.
Throwing
you know,
people
Are we
under
name dropping this
buses.
time?
no, I'm not name dropping. He knows who he is.
Wait,
He knows who he is.
wait.
Yeah.
Left his children, left me, abandoned his wife and his children,
Wow.
and then got mad at me because I decided to
Be successful.
be successful
And strong without
and
him?
strong without him.
And he's not all that in a bag of chips.
And he does, and the best is he just said to somebody recently, this is the funniest shit, and I hope he's listening. I hope you're listening.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it does. She's successful and she has this shit. It doesn't mean anything to me. Bullshit. I call bullshit for that. I call bullshit for that.
Wait, he said he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care about success and money anymore. Oh, really? That's the reason why you went to jail, asshole, and left your whole fucking family.
Oh,
No, but that's why he
shit.
does so many things and like the public thing trying to be.
I feel like I'm on
relevant.
baddies right now.
He tries to be.
Get that
No, you know what? I'm letting it out now. He tries to be me. He does. He does try to be me. He tries to not even tries to be me. He hates that this is what I become. Instead of saying that you took care of my children, you stood there for me. You took them alone. I had no parents. No, you know what I got? I got that I'm this, I'm that. I went to when Ray came in the picture, like he swooped in and stole his family. No, you lost your family, asshole.
Yeah.
No, you
Wow.
lost it. And if you wanted your family, you should have fought for us harder.
It's true.
Because guess what? Ray would have stepped aside.
But there was also a time I feel like you did give him an opportunity that you were like, we could have discussions, be open. You were open-minded to maybe being.
You know what? I wanted to do it for my children, and I do love my in-laws. I do
Yeah.
love them dearly. But my problem is with them, they enable their son. They
Yeah.
enable their son for what he's done his whole
Throwing
life.
the in-laws under the bus.
Yeah, they've
though.
enabled him.
Yeah.
Hey,
They've
if you
enabled
gotta
him.
go under the bus, you gotta go under the bus.
I'm going
Jen
under
hasn't
the
left
bus.
under the bus this whole
Oh, no.
episode.
Oh no, I'm going. I'm
Please
throwing
don't throw me and
everybody.
Jeff under the
No, I won't. Because you know what? I look at it this way because I did not like that. I heard that, and I'm like, dude, like you should have kissed the ground I walked on because you'll never have
A
anybody
man,
like me.
I hate to say this to the men. I can't say a man. I can't generalize everybody in one basket. But I would say I think it's very hard for a man to have his ex or even a man. That's why men have trouble dating successful women, strong women. They want the damsel in distress. They want the wilting daisy. I think most men like the power of feeling like the alpha dog.
Like it makes their
and
dick
you're
feel
the
big.
alpha dog
Yeah.
in this situation because you were like, oh, you're going to do that? Watch this.
Well, you know what?
Watch
He's
me.
the one who put me in the alpha dog situation. I didn't want to be there. He put me there. You know what? This is his fault. He put me there because he put me into this situation. So what did you expect me to do? And now you're angry with me, and you're mad at me now, and that I did all this?
No, but this is what I'm talking about. Like I told our last guest, you have to be a very strong, special person because another woman wouldn't have would have just you were an RN. They
Yeah.
would have stayed being a nurse and living their 9 to 5 little life and said, okay, I got a good job. I can make ends meet. You were like, no, I'm going to be that on steroids and I'm going to open my own business and I'm going to open another business. I'm going to open another business and I'm going to be a badass.
Baddie.
Thank
Baddie.
you. I'm a baddie. I think
You're
I'm
a
going to go
baddie.
on the baddie
That's
show
what I
now.
said. I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
You
we're
could
the
fight.
baddie.
Jen
Yeah.
can fight.
I could, but I don't know if I could fight anymore.
Legally, you're not allowed to.
Legally, I can't fight anymore. Yeah.
Your hands are weapons.
I was
Hands
like,
are weapons.
Jen's got to
do you
wait a
feel
couple
that
months.
way? Do you feel this way, Kathrine? Do you feel that like men, that's if you're too much more successful than them, they have a problem with you, or they want something from you? You don't feel that way?
I feel that I've come across that quite a few times, and I feel that men are. Steve Sharippa, who was on Sopranos with me, he said to me, "You have to find somebody who is stronger than you, like stronger, and somebody that can deal with you having a voice,
You
having
being you.
opinions, me being me. You know, I'm boisterous, but not all the time. Sometimes I'm actually shy. I have many sides to me. Sometimes I could be actually shy.
You're not
Sometimes I can be
one-dimensional.
Quiet.
Yeah.
You may not you're not around me enough to see it, but some of my friends are like, "Why are you so quiet now? Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like that?" I have different sides to me and different moods. But when I'm out, I guess men are intimidated by strong women.
They are. And they put you down to make themselves feel better. Like, to me, it's like, you know what? I love a strong man. I wish I had a strong man. I wish that they could be, lead. I would want
Yeah.
somebody to lead me a little
Yeah.
bit too.
Yeah.
I do want that. I don't want to be the one who's in the driver's
That's
seat all the
right.
time. I really don't. I really
Yeah.
don't.
I hear
want
a lot of women say this. You know that? You hear a lot. I hear this.
I
from a
don't
lot
want
of
it. I
women.
was put in this situation that I really didn't want to be in. I mean, listen, I'm glad and I thank God every day that I have that drive to do that. But you know what? As somebody who's with me, you should be proud of me.
Yeah.
You should say, "Wow, you're amazing." Not be jealous or resentful or angry. Be proud. Say, "Wow." That's what you should be like.
But you're a reminder of somebody. You're a reminder of
a failure.
that they're not. You're mirroring to them that they're not successful.
But don't you think you're
As
looking
you.
at it from a situation that you met him when you were how old?
26.
And so
But I
like,
know him from when I'm younger.
but
My-
exactly. So like at 26 years old, 30 years ago, like you're not that same person.
I'm not the same person.
So I feel
anymore.
like you are so far past this whole situation. So I feel like the fact that this is even still remotely in your wheelhouse is like, we just got to like throw it away somehow.
The unfortunate,
Because I feel like when you
unfortunate
still
part
keep
is
it
that
in your,
the unfortunate part is that he's still my kid's father. He's connected to me.
but
for
your
the
kids
rest of
are
my life.
adults now.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's still connected to you for the rest of your life. It's not like I could just forget about it and say,
true.
okay. It's
But if
hard.
I were you, I think I would like unfollow him, unfollow the new girlfriend. I would like,
they're unfollowed.
maybe not
They're
talk to
unfollowed.
like, I would just avoid him. I feel like you help him sometimes, right? Like industry related, you host a party if he has an
I
event
have helped him
or
in the
things
past.
like that, where I feel like you should really just avoid, like you said, if it's your kid's wedding, if there's a birthday party, whatever, you're totally going to have to see him. But I think you do more by keeping your toes in a little bit around him that you should not need to do.
Listen, I learned my lesson to keep my toes. My toes are completely out of the water now.
well, that's
It's
good.
completely out of the water.
This is a new thing for you then, so that's good.
This has been, that's it. So I'm done with that. I'm done. I had to pull myself out of it.
I think this will
had
help
to.
you like really, really like move
I
on
had
and figure
to.
out what you want.
Could we go on to another
Yes.
kind of topic?
Yeah.
I want to talk about something what is going on in the world right now, all the craziness. I mean, I know we don't want to dip into politics because I don't need people coming at me. But
I don't
I'm
want-
talking
yeah.
about the technology. What about all the flights that have been canceled? How about 3 weeks ago we couldn't call each other. The phone systems were down. Verizon, T-Mobile.
Where was
What is-
that?
What do you
My
mean?
phone
Yeah,
worked.
a couple of weeks
What's wrong
ago.
with you? It just happened last week. It happened.
You couldn't call anybody.
Was
from
I
Yeah.
blacked out?
The other night, my daughter couldn't come home from Florida because they kept canceling the flight because
Well, the
there was
flights. Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
think you're referring to Androids. I have an iPhone.
Oh,
Okay.
I have an
Listen.
iPhone. It was down.
The Android people, it's you need to pay for an iPhone, and then you won't have a problem with technology.
Well, let me tell you this. Before an election, if you notice, there's always going to be a shooting and there's always going to be something massive that's going to happen. It always happens all the time.
All I
So
can
there'll
say
be a
is
school
pray
shooting
for
next.
us. Pray for our
us.
country. Pray for us that whoever wins this next election has all of our backs, and we could unite as a left and a right, and just unite and do what's best for all of us. And you may not always get what you want, but if you get a little bit of what you want and they get a little bit of what they want, we could meet somewhere in the middle. And I think that's how life should be in every situation.
I think that's fair. Give and take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I
Can't
think
have
so.
it all,
No. Listen,
you know, but
nobody's
you
going to
could
be
have a little bit of
perfect.
each.
Nobody's going to be
Little bit of something.
perfect. Nobody's
I think
gonna be
the
perfect.
basis should be just respect everybody. And as long as everybody has rights and everyone respects each other, then we're good. I think that needs to be like the basis. And I think right now that's not the basis.
You're absolutely right. And you know what? People, the thing is, we say, you know, we're the land of the free and freedom of speech and all that. I think it's true.
See,
You
I
have your
don't.
strong opinions, but can you say it in a way
No.
that's not hateful? Can you speak in a more intelligent
Intelligent
way
manner.
that is not demeaning or putting somebody down to make your point? I don't need to put you down to make my point. I can just make my point respectfully.
Yes.
But that goes back to like cancel culture, for example, because I think if somebody says something, right, like immediately goes into like attack mode that like cancel them, lose this partnership, lose this brand deal, where it should be more like, let's treat this like a learning experience.
Yes.
Tell them, hey, you shouldn't have did this because whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
And instead, America is you say one wrong thing that I think, you know, you have opinions. You
But
have
that's
opinions. I have
not.
opinions.
But that's
You
not
can't-
everybody. That's.
But I'm saying
that's a
most
group
people
of
now, it's
people.
land of the free speech,
it's
whatever.
not,
You
because-
can't say
no,
what you want
but
anymore
it's
here
not.
because of fear of getting eaten alive and
Yeah,
canceled.
you're
Right. You can't 100%. But the problem is that that's one. That is a group that is people that I'm sorry, but too far to the left, and it is. I'm in the middle, and I tell everybody I'm in the middle. I'm for common sense, and I'm for thinking smart. But when it becomes too crazy, if I can't have a conversation with you, and the way you're going to respond to me is by yelling at me and stamping your feet and throwing a
Or
tantrum,
putting you down.
or putting me down, then that's a problem.
I would agree.
In a democracy, there should be a free flow of ideas, and I should be able to talk to my friend and say, well, you know what, I don't agree with that because this, and this, and my friend should come back to me and say, yeah, well, I don't agree with this because of this, and this, and try to discuss it,
Yeah.
and not, but well, if you don't believe this, that to me is not
Forcing their ideas
Right,
on
forcing
you, their
on-
beliefs on you.
No one should do that. Yeah.
No, nobody should. Nobody should give me facts. Change my mind. How's that? Change my mind. If you think that this is the way you think and this is the way you feel, then maybe it is. Maybe it's something I can change the way I feel. If you explain it to me, change my mind, but change it calmly. Don't change it where you're screaming at me to get your point across.
Don't you feel social media gave us the green light to cross the line in how we speak to each other? Like, we crossed the line now. There's no more respect. There's no more respect. Social media has set it up that there's no respect. There used to be a time in politics and life and whatever, like you're saying, cancel culture, but there was still a line that you don't cross. There's still a line in the way you speak to me. Don't hit me below the belt. If I just make this fake scenario, I'm for Biden, you're for Trump. Can we have a conversation where I'm not, like I said before, putting your guy down in front of you, like in a vicious way,
Yeah.
instead of just saying, hey, Jeff, these are my beliefs. I think this about my
Well, how
guy.
about giving the facts?
Or I think this, but
If I'm being honest, I think the issue is you'll never really know the facts because we're not involved.
That's it.
Like, I think my biggest issue with the government is there's so many things we don't know about behind closed doors, and they've been in office for some of these people 70 years, 60 years. Like, why should that be allowed? Like that,
they shouldn't be allowed. There should be term limits. And guess who wanted to install term limits? Trump wanted to.
Well, it
He
didn't
did.
happen, and I don't know
but this is
how
what I'm
that
saying.
will ever happen
So
if
it
the people
should
voting
happen.
on it are all the people who would lose their jobs.
But nobody should be in power for that long.
I agree.
Nobody, no civil servant should have a $200 million bank account. None. You work for. We put you in office.
Facts.
There is no reason why you have that kind of money.
I agree with that.
I am sorry. They made their career out of that. They get paid by the oligarchs. They get paid by the war machine, because that's where 90% of it comes from. And then who gets hurt by it? But the common people get hurt. And then we got to pay higher taxes. We got to pay. First of all, it's unconstitutional to pay taxes. It's in the Constitution, and we should not be paying taxes.
Well, I think even the
Period.
documents from 1776 or whatever it is, I mean, it's 2024. I think there's a whole different world that things should be updated on,
but I
that it makes
understand but
no sense to me.
There is a lot of things, but it's not the point. The point is that we should not be putting money into things that, yes, we should be helping the veterans. We should be putting money away for schools. We should be putting money away for our citizens, not people that don't live here. Citizens. You could, in no other country can you cross the border like you could cross the United States. If I went into Europe and I went into Germany, I couldn't walk across the border in Germany without showing a passport. They wouldn't let me in. Why is it okay? And why do we? And then if we say something, we're wrong. Oh, how do you say that? No, you want to come here legally. That's fine.
I think the other thing is those are the people who take the jobs that regular Americans don't want to take. And I think even for you as like a business owner, some people who are business owners or whatever, they would prefer to hire these people because they're dollars and cents for their time, whatever they're trying to do work-wise, that if I were to pay you, it's going to cost me thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? So these people are coming here and getting opportunities because they're getting paid, because there's a market for paying someone less. And I think being in America, people always try to gyp people and save money and pay people less, and that's what it is. So,
but they are taking jobs away from Americans.
Maybe. I think the biggest thing is if you are going to take taxes out, I would love a healthcare system that, you know, everyone had proper healthcare. And he was like, hey, like, if you want to sleep and like you want to lay this way, you could sleep on my lap. And I was
stranger.
like, stranger.
A stranger.
And I was like, okay, this is kind of hot, like nice. And so I was like, I'm going to take him up on that. I'm fucking tired. So I like just went like this and I'm like laying on his lap. And then I like feel his dick get hard, like across my face. So I'm like laying on his lap. And I was like, do I touch it? Do I touch it? What do I do? Do I act like, oh, I don't feel anything?
But you knew he was gay because he asked you to lay on his lap. A straight
Oh,
guy's not gonna
100% I
ask
knew.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, like I knew, I caught the vibe. And so then I like took my blanket and like put it over my head and like whipped it out and like did my thing a little bit. And then we didn't fuck on that plane, but then we got off the plane and came back to my hotel and we actually fucked after that. But we hooked up on that plane. Yeah.
Did you ever see any of these people again?
No.
No. He doesn't see them again. He doesn't see them again. This is one-offs. This is his one-offs. This is what he wants
are my
to be able
one-offs.
to do.
I should be a flight attendant. Maybe that's my problem.
Holy shit.
Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't be a flight attendant.
Oh my God. So how many times on a plane?
For some reason, my brain's telling me 3, but maybe it's only 2.
Now,
I feel like it's so much more than that.
What's
I don't
the
know.
craziest-
I've done airports, so maybe I've told you those
Where in the
stories.
airport now? They just sex in the bathroom.
Istanbul shower.
Wait, they have a shower in Istanbul airport? Why? No, they don't. Do they? Why?
They do, because you
Because people
got
on the plane for
8-hour
14
layover.
hours.
You got
Well, I mean, I went to
not for like the norm. Like it was in a lounge. Like I was in an airport lounge. I pulled up Grinder. There was a hot guy, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go shower." And he came and met me, and then we hooked up in the shower. And it's like private shower.
There's nobody else in the shower in
Correct.
the bathroom.
You like rent the stall, like you get it for like 30 minutes or something to like freshen up on your
And they let you
airplane.
go in with somebody else, or they
Well, you
don't
could
see?
bring 3 guests to the lounge. So via the lounge, I brought 3 guests.
Well, maybe because I was on. That was because I was on first class, so there was lounges.
You would
there.
also like never do that though.
I would never do that in an
Yeah.
airport shower.
But don't you think
think
public shit is hot?
I had sex in a public parking lot elevator once in a mall elevator.
A parking garage elevator?
Yeah, in the mall.
Oh,
I did that.
okay.
But not yesterday. It
Like,
was
did you
How
just
the
ride it
hell-
up and down? Like, isn't there a
No,
camera in the corner?
It was at the end of the night. The mall was closing. It was like an elevator in the back of the parking lot, and there
Okay.
was nobody parked there anymore. So basically, everybody was cleared out for the most part. I
Got
think we
it.
were like the last 1 or 2 cars were left in there.
Oh my God.
And we went into the elevator.
What if the door opened?
So you're saying the sex tape exists on whatever
It
camera
wasn't a tape.
system?
No, this was like 30 years ago. This didn't happen yesterday.
They don't have cameras in elevators 30 years ago?
Maybe somebody's watching it now, still jerking off to it. I don't know. It's possible.
We'll
It
have
could
to
be out
Google.
there. It could be Google.
Elevator porn.
But I don't think that there was any in this elevator.
Being a guy, I know, like
It was a quickie.
Before we pivot this, have you ever
Well,
had sex in
Yes,
public?
You ever had sex in
in
an
public,
elevator?
no, in an elevator, no.
What about in public?
A park?
Could have been
a
anywhere.
beach?
Beach.
I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
So that wasn't a no.
That wasn't a no.
Let me ask you a question. Being a guy, meeting guys on Grindr, have you ever? Can that ever be dangerous?
I think if you're dumb. Sorry, but like for me, I video chat you before I send my address. Like some of these people, like I was with a friend and we traveled, and he was one of those people who like loved to just get railed anonymously. So he would say, I'm in the room, the door's unlocked, just come in. I'm bent over, and he didn't care who they were. He just wanted someone to come fuck them. And I was like, bitch, we're all in the other bedrooms, and you're just letting these random people come in and you're texting this address. So after that, I've learned
You know he
who
could get
to
AIDS
travel
like that
with.
or sick.
Well, there's PrEP and there's other things that you could be on to not get that. But the point is that when you're traveling with someone,
you're playing
correct.
Russian roulette with your life.
But when you're traveling and you have random people who, no offense, like you could be behind the profile. Who's to say that it's not a woman or someone trying, or Jeffrey
Right.
Dahmer, or who the fuck knows
Right,
who's on the other end of that?
Yeah.
They could present as, oh, this is a cute face, but you don't know who's going to show up,
That's
and you're
what I'm
just
saying.
sending
Is
this.
it dangerous?
Well, if you're dumb,
Yes, well, clearly
Yeah.
he's dumb.
Well,
we all
no,
yeah.
how about this? Jeffrey Dahmer was good looking.
Yes, very.
I could be on that video chat going, oh yeah, let's meet up and fucking come
Yeah.
and shank your ass.
That's
Facts.
right.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with everybody. Like
You do,
anything you
but-
do.
Meeting up for sex, that's a real being sexually
Yeah.
charged, meeting somebody
Yeah.
like that.
Well, then you're vulnerable too.
You're
'cause,
very
like, you're, Yeah.
vulnerable.
Well,
Come
you're
on.
vulnerable. There's the aggressor, and then the one who's vulnerable.
Yes.
You got to be really careful.
And especially if you're sending someone to your house. No.
No,
Oh
didn't
my
didn't you
God.
have there was some issue that you had with someone and somebody had happened to somebody you knew?
What?
That they
No, I would. For me, the only weird thing that recently
not
happened
you.
is
Something happened to somebody you knew that they came to their house and they basically robbed them, right?
Yes,
Can we talk
we're
about
not
that?
gonna don't name him
No,
at
I don't
all.
know
We're
his
not
name
throwing him
anyway.
Okay, but
the
we're
bus.
not
No,
gonna
I'm not,
say.
I'm not throwing him. I
Okay,
don't know his
so
name anyway. It doesn't matter.
long story short, I have a friend who lives in middle of America, and he has money. And he said, "Oh, he flaunts his money. You know, when sometimes you're not you flaunt things that's going to attract people.
Yeah.
And he flaunts his
well,
money,
I think
and he knows that it's
because
about
he
that.
has to.
Yes. And so he flaunted his money, and he invited someone over that he thought was cute. And the guy showed up alone initially, went in the house. I think were about to hook up. But then he texted his friend saying, hey, I'm going to this guy's house, meet me. And so there's 3 people in a car in the driveway. And then they went into the home with a gun and robbed him blindly, tied him up, put him in the car, and left him in the middle of a parking lot in the snow. I think he had to walk a mile home because he had no phone, no nothing. And they took money, his Rolexes, jewelry from the house, and they never got caught.
He never did that again. He doesn't show off his money anymore, does he?
I hope not, no. He's not on the app anymore. I know that, but
Well, thank God.
But I think that's like crazy stuff is like sometimes when you're vulnerable and whether it's you're sad and you want attention or you're trying to have sex with someone, you know, red flags in your brain are like, oh, whatever, like I'm fine. And then something like that happens and you're like, shit.
But this is also with somebody who, he was a little bit older, maybe lonely.
He's not older. He was like 40.
Well, was he divorced or anything
No.
like that?
No, I think just in general, like, you know, people, like if you're really horny, sometimes you make dumb decisions.
I think that at that age, you shouldn't be making bad decisions like that.
But you know, have you ever been so horny that you like do something stupid? Like
Men
it's almost
men get
like
more horny to do things
there's
like
something
that.
called
Some women are pretty fucked up. Too,
post nut
I think.
clarity. Do women get this?
Post
What?
nut clarity.
Post nut clarity. Have you ever heard
That's
of this?
made up.
No,
That's
it's I swear to God, it's a thing.
fucking
Please back me up.
Did you
it's
ever
100%
it?
a thing. So post nut
Did
clarity.
you ever hear of it? Well, you've
So-
heard of it. Did you ever have post nut clarity?
So
What is it?
Post nut clarity is like sometimes you make a questionable decision, but and like maybe they're ugly, maybe the situation wasn't the smartest, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then once you come, you're like, well, that was fucking horrible, never doing that again. Or oh, they're gross. Like, and then you block their number, and you finally get this wave of you being like, why'd I do this? Like, what
And
the fuck?
you get the gross wave, right?
Yes.
Basically,
You can call it a gross wave
Oh, yeah,
sometimes.
maybe I did that
But it's
before.
like
But
we
I didn't
call
have
it
sex with
post nut
them.
clarity. Like the minute you come, you know, your hormones, like everything changes, and you're like, oh, not gonna do that
Don't
one
guys
again.
Do it all the time to girls.
Yeah.
They
Mm.
say everything they could to get the girl where they want them, and then it's like done.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not done. And they're like, well, so
I'm out.
I'm out.
Well, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm done. That's what they don't care.
So post nut clarity,
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was a good that's
a defined term.
wow, defined term.
It's probably in dictionary.com.
Everybody, thank you for tuning
Peace
in
out.
to this episode of Cats, Kitty, and Pudding, and Jeffrey. And I want my voice is killing me right now because we talked all day. I already did my sponsor, did I? But I already did my sponsor. And I want to thank Dolce Beans Cafe for being my sponsor. If you want the best cappuccino, latte, and gelato, it's the best in Ridgewood, Queens.
And if
Thank
Poland Spring
everybody.
would like to sponsor the next one so Jen can speak properly, that'd be great.
Yes, thank you, please. I need speech therapy. Have a good day.